to fade into the sunset. I say we're Mickey and Mallory, wind up swinging from the cottonwood tree. Never going to change the world. It's just a story of a boy and a girl.
What's up, everybody? This is Sound Off with Stixx. This is Keith Stixx from Tsunami Cables, and I'm here with my good friend Sphynx. What's up, Sphynx?
What's going on, Keith?
How's it going, man?
It's going great.
Great. So, let's start here with the podcast. So let's go ahead and start from the beginning, when you started doing music and all that good stuff.
In 2004, my dad passed away.
Okay.
Huge into music, gave up his music career for all of us kids.
Gotcha.
In 2006, I decided I'm going to play music. No idea anything about music industry, no idea anything about how to play music, but I decided that's what I'm going to do. I was clean cut, regular person, and my life changed in 2006. Here I sit now.
Awesome. Okay, that's very cool. Very cool. I'm going to adjust a level real quick on me. We're good. Awesome, man. Well, and that started basically with the band, right?
Zee-no's the only band I've ever been in.
Right, which is kind of crazy. Most people can't say that. I can't say that.
But most people can. Most people don't have the tenacity to stay with one band over and over again
Right.
with multiple players in that band, as many as I've gone through.
That's definitely true. That's definitely true, including myself.
Including yourself.
Yeah. So.
And it shows truth that you can still be friends after a member leaves a band.
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely, and also to have a business relationship as well.
Business relations as well.
Absolutely, it's all in how you deal with the relationship, I guess. So
Sometimes you get assholes and sometimes you don't.
Right, absolutely. And speaking of that, so we were talking a little earlier. I think we're going on 10 years, roughly right around 10 years of you having cables.
About 10 years of me having Tsunami Cables.
Yep, and we were talking about it. I'm pretty sure that you are the longest running Tsunami family member to this date. So
That's pretty cool.
That is pretty cool. Yeah. So
That just shows my loyalty to all the sponsorships that I deal with. They're all
right.
They all run that long.
Yeah, absolutely. No, it's really cool. Absolutely, man. That's killer. So yeah, and let's do this. Let's talk. 'Cause I think it's kind of a funny story. Let's talk about the first time that we met, and the birth, I guess you could say, of the relationship. So that was at which club? It was at. It was at
Mission Tobacco Lounge in Riverside.
Right.
And I think we were playing that night.
I think you guys might have been.
We might have been playing that night, and then there was another person that you came to see that night.
Yep.
That we won't say his name.
Yep.
And somehow we just started talking.
Yeah.
And then you brought up your cable.
Yeah.
And I said, I want this particular type of cable.
Right.
With my name on it.
Yep.
Because I'm an egomaniac.
Right.
And you said, I can do it.
Right.
And boom.
Yep.
I ordered them, and I actually still have them.
Yeah.
And awesome. I still use them.
Right, which is really cool. Yeah. 10 years later.
10 years later, still the original guitar cables are still in my snake.
Yeah, that's so awesome. That's really cool.
Never had an issue.
Yeah, that's killer, man. I think that's awesome. Killer. So what was? So you know, I think I remember hearing this. And maybe, and correct me if I'm wrong. Your dad was also a part of Jackson or Fender or something like that, right?
My dad worked for Jackson.
Okay, that's right.
And my dad worked for Rickenbacker.
Oh, okay, cool, awesome. All right. So what was the first guitar that you ever owned?
Actually, it was when I was 8. It was one that my dad made for me.
Oh, that's cool. That
was my very first guitar I ever owned.
That's killer. Okay. That's pretty cool, man. That's
and
awesome.
then after that, I don't remember. I have a lot of guitars. I don't remember which was the first. And I remember which was the last, but I don't remember which was the first.
Right, I can understand that. That's cool. I think that's hilarious. That's awesome. So obviously the band is Zee-no.
Band is Zee-no.
And so there's been, obviously lots of turnover with the band. We were talking about that earlier.
Lots of turnovers, more than I'd like to admit to.
Right, but it happens,
It happens.
Yeah. So, and what are you guys kind of up to now? What do you guys got going on right now?
So basically, it's really bizarre. So the lineup that we have now is all brand new. It's basically a new band, a new sound, different caliber of musicians with an old name.
Right. Okay.
That's
cool.
kind of where the band's at right now.
Awesome.
We're working on a new album, 3 in a can, 3 ready to record, working on writing the rest of them.
Cool. Okay. Killer, man. That's awesome.
One step at a time.
Right. Exactly. And you guys are with Solon, right?
We're with Solon. We're
Yeah.
with Affliction.
That's cool. Okay. Very cool. And
That was a fluke.
Do you want to talk about that?
Well, it was just weird because you've known me a long time.
Yep.
I don't endorsement hop.
Right. Right.
If I go after an endorsement, it's because I believe and I love the product.
Right.
I don't like to change.
Yeah.
I was with another clothing company and they didn't support the artist. They said, oh, it's family, we're a family.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't. It was, how can I get from you and then fuck you over at the same time?
Right.
And Frosty was like, I want Solon. I love their clothes. I love their business motto. And I'm like, oh, I don't like change. I've been with this company for a long time,
Right.
but they haven't done anything for me.
Right.
So one thing led to another, and I met one guy that was a part of this, and then another guy, and then I ended up getting a meeting with the owner of Solon.
Nice.
And I went down there for the meeting with Frost.
Okay.
And he looks at me and he says, we're a tattoo-based company. And he's looking at me and he's like, I don't see any tattoos on you, but I see your drummer's good, and my whole chest is all tatted up. I don't have any showing.
Right.
So I showed him, he's like, oh, cool, okay, you're on board. And he's like, we're going to do a test run. We're going to put you down here and see how our relationship manifests.
Right.
And it's manifested beautifully, and now I'm part of their record label, and that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, that's great. And then you guys also just got Dean not that long ago.
We got
right?
Dean guitars last year.
That's cool.
Again, that was a hard flip for me.
Right, yeah.
I was with Tragan for 8 or 9 years,
Right.
with my own signature models.
Right.
But it just was time to move forward.
Right.
Change things up a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a long time. That's a long time with one company.
It's all my companies have
I
been
know,
that
but I'm just saying. But I mean,
it is.
as far as like most guys, most guys are like, with one company for maybe 2-3 years, and then they're on to the next one or whatever, or maybe even shorter time than that. But yeah, I mean, to have plus 5 or 6 years with a company is kind of abnormal.
It is, because I make relationships and friendships.
Right, absolutely.
I don't ask for anything I don't need or
Right.
have as part of what it is that I'm doing. I'm not like, oh, I need 2 guitars every year.
Right.
Give them to me.
Yeah.
I have my guitar. It works fine. I don't need another guitar.
Right.
Even though I have 7 Tragans.
Right. Yeah.
But they are all different, and
Yeah. No, that's cool, man. That's
but
great.
that was the hardest phone call I think I've made in a long time, was calling over and saying, this is the route that I'm going, and this is where I'm going. And
Right.
he was cool with it, and we're still friends, and
That's cool.
I still love their guitars, but I love Dean guitars as well, and
Yeah.
that's the path I'm on right now.
Yeah, absolutely. No, that's great, man. That's really cool. And that's one thing that I know I learned. I mean, I learned a lot from you and the artist standpoint of like the endorsement thing and like the business side of stuff. That's one thing I always kind of admired about you in the band, especially when I was in the band, was your business sense in the band. You didn't treat the band like a band. You treated the band like a business, and that
Right.
was and I always liked that. I always thought that was really cool. I know I learned a lot about that on the endorsement side. And I know a lot of other people have too. I've heard that. I mean, we were talking to Dave DuPont earlier, and about him and stuff like that. And I know he made the same comment about learning some of the endorsement stuff from you, and I've heard it from other people too. So that's cool.
And it just depends on how people come to me and who they are about it. Like, if I've
Right.
never met you before,
Right.
I don't know anything about you,
Right.
and you walk up to me, you're like, hey, can you help me do this and do that? wasn't handed to me on a silver spoon.
Right. Absolutely.
I spent years learning how to do what it is that I do.
Right.
And you need to be my friend.
Yeah.
For me to go, hey, what do you want? This is how you go about doing it.
Yeah.
And I can help with that.
Right.
If I don't know you, get the fuck out of my face. Bye-bye.
Right. Yeah.
Which is why I have that reputation of being an asshole.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. Well, no, it's the same way too. I mean, even on my end of things, like I get guys all the time that hit me up for endorsements that just want free shit or whatever, and then I don't even know. And it's like, okay, well, wait a minute. You know what I mean? Like, you know, you're just some random kid out of some other country or some shit or whatever. You know what I mean? Whoever, you know, why would I give you free stuff? You know what I mean? And so, and then
if you gave him free shit, I'd be pissed because I don't get free shit.
It's true.
You make me pay for shit. If you gave it to some fucking Yahoo, I'd be pissed.
I understand that completely. Yeah, absolutely. So, so that's definitely you know, part of it. But I just don't, you know, like you said, I mean, as far as like the friendship thing goes and knowing somebody ahead of time, you know, I like that in the fact that you don't mind helping people out if they've already paid the dues to be friends and they're loyal and they, you know, and that kind of thing. You're already there. You don't mind helping, you know, people out. It's just that don't be, you know, just some random Yahoo.
Yeah, just don't be some guy that
Right.
that all of a sudden you're like, oh, I want this. Can you get it for me?
Right.
I'm not getting anything for anybody.
Right.
I get shit for me.
Right.
And I help my band members, but I teach them.
Right.
It's what do you want to go after?
Right.
This is how you do it.
Right.
Here's your steps.
Yep. Absolutely.
And this is how you talk about it.
Absolutely.
Unless you're a known act,
Right.
chances are of getting free shit
Yeah.
is highly, highly unlikely.
Right.
Unless you've been with a company for a long time. I've been with Egnator for over 10 years.
Right.
They take care of me.
Right.
I have no issues. If something goes wrong,
Right.
I take an app down there, they fix it, there's no charge. But I've been with them for over 10 years.
Right.
But it wasn't like that in the beginning. In the beginning, I had to buy all my shit.
Right.
I had to pay for my repairs.
Yeah.
You know, now I don't have to.
Yeah. Well, one of the things I like too, and I've told actually quite a few like artists or people that I know that have come to me that are not like mutual friends of ours, but I've told them kind of your mentality of it, of even like having all the gear to start with before you even approach for the endorsement. I love that. I thought that was like the greatest thing ever. You know, and I remember us going to NAMM and stuff like that, and you would have, you know, photos, you know, killer photos of yourself with all this gear, and then going to that company and going, hey, you know, can we work something out? Can we create a relationship? I clearly already use your shit.
Right.
You know what I mean? Let's work something out. That is, I mean, what's funny about it is whenever you tell people that, it makes so much sense, but nobody fucking does it. You know what I mean? Like,
because they want free shit.
Right, exactly. Yeah, absolutely.
Who's going to give me something free?
Exactly.
Like
yeah,
a particular artist that both of us know.
Right, yeah.
It doesn't matter how
Right.
good or bad the product is. Can I have it for free?
Right, exactly.
If I can have it for free, I will use it and I'll tell everybody it's the best,
Right,
even if it's not.
right, absolutely.
For me, I have to believe in the product
Yeah,
for me to be a part of that company.
absolutely.
Otherwise, I don't want to be a part of a company that's going to go under or
Right.
doesn't make a good product just
Right.
because I'm going to get something free.
Right.
I don't care about that.
Absolutely, yeah. And also, too, I mean, on the flip side of that, too, they should also be somewhat, you know, as an artist, you should almost be somewhat leery, too, if a company's willing to give you something free right out the bat.
Depends on where you're at.
You know, exactly. But I'm just saying, if you're just starting out, if you've
Yeah.
only been a couple years in the game at the most, and you're still playing local shows, and you're not touring, you're not going out of state, let alone out of country, you know what I mean? Yeah, so if a company's giving you free stuff, you might be it might be, like I'm getting at the point that it might not be a very good product. It might be,
Right.
you know, like that's what I'm getting at. you know what I
It
mean?
might not be for me. Sometimes I can go to a new company and
Right.
instantaneously I can get
Right.
B grade
Yeah.
endorsement instead of starting at the bottom. I
Right.
can go B or I can go straight to A.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Just because of my longevity and
Right.
and the list of companies that
Right.
I've been with for the length of time that I've been with.
Right, absolutely. Yeah, no, I think that's, but again, like I'm saying, somebody that doesn't have that.
If you don't have that, and
that's
you're
gonna be
totally
hard.
leery of a company that's like,
Yeah.
oh, here.
Yeah.
And then being loyal to the company. So I remember almost every year at NAMM, somebody wants to pull me in their booth
Right.
to do pictures.
Mhm.
And I might already be endorsed by another company of the same thing.
Right.
And so I look like an asshole because I tell them no.
Right, I got you.
And then I'm like, why? My response always is, if I was your artist
Right.
and another company wanted pictures in their booth, how would you feel?
Right. Yeah.
You wouldn't dig that if
Right.
there's a picture of me with some other product.
Right.
Then they get it.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
So I don't do pictures in booths that I'm not sponsored with. I don't do pictures with guitars. I don't do any of that because it's disrespectful to the companies that I do work with.
Right.
And I will not disrespect them.
Absolutely. I appreciate that. Being one of those companies, I appreciate it.
You don't see me
Right,
on stage
absolutely.
ever without all of my Tsunami cables, from my wireless to our mics,
Yep.
to my patch cables, to
Yep.
my snake,
Everything.
to my speaker cable.
Right.
Everything is Tsunami.
Yep. Absolutely. Oh, that's awesome, man. I definitely appreciate that.
And my backup cable is Tsunami,
Just
which
in
I've
case.
never needed.
Right, I was gonna say it's probably the longest unused cable ever.
It is, but I still have it,
Right,
just in case.
You never know. Absolutely.
You never
You
know.
never know. Absolutely. Awesome. All right. Well, since we're still talking about gear, what one guitar would you save out of a burning building? So, like, out of like unfortunately, your house burns down. All the animals are safe because I know you guys got like 100 animals, but everything else is good. But you just have all your guitars are gonna burn down. Which one are you gonna grab?
See, that's a problem because I have guitars that I don't want to talk about
Okay.
that can never be replaced.
Gotcha. Okay.
One-offs
Yeah, absolutely.
of name companies.
Okay, I can understand that.
So there's like 5 guitars out of the numerous guitars that I have that all 5 of those can't be replaced, so they all have to go.
Okay.
So I would grab all 5 of those.
Okay, that works. That's awesome. I love it. All right, I can think of one for sure, if not maybe 2. But what is the worst thing that's ever happened to you on stage?
We were doing a show.
I wonder which one you're gonna say. So
We were doing a show, and my sound went out, and I blamed your cable. and we were fighting on stage about your cable going out while it was in intermission-ish, trying to figure out how to get my guitar back, and it was the plug.
Yeah, you had plugged it in the wrong input.
No, it was the power plug.
Oh, that's right. That's what
It was the power plug.
That's what it was.
It had nothing to do with your cable. So
Yeah.
I was bitching at you on stage for your shitty product that wasn't a shitty product, that was my fault.
I love it. I think sometime we have to make that into like a commercial or something. That's got to be something.
And that cable is still in my snake.
It's still there. I love
It's
it.
still there.
I love it. That's so good. That's funny. Awesome. Let's see.
And being dead honest, out of all of my cables that I've gotten from you, I've had one issue with one cable, which was my fault. It was a patch cable that I bent too much.
Yeah.
And that was the only cable. And then once we fixed that and I rearranged the jacks, never had a problem since.
Never had a problem with it. That's awesome. That's great. Let's see. This is a good one for you. What advice would you give like your younger self as about guitar playing in the business and stuff like that?
What advice would I give? You kind of learn, and I wish I would have learned this a long time ago, that there's a lot of people that pretend to be your friend, and they try to manipulate to get things, and you go out of your way to help them, and you think you're bros and everything's cool, and then once they get what they think that they can get out of you, you're done.
Yeah.
Get the fuck out. That's the one thing I would be a lot more cautious. Again, that's why a lot of people consider me an asshole that don't know me.
Right.
Where my friends that are in the industry are like, where do you get that from? Because I'm kind of a Jekyll and Hyde. If I don't know you and you're trying to get me to help you, I'm not going to give you the fucking time of day.
Right.
But if you're my friend and you've been with me for a while and you're genuine, I'll bend over backwards to help you get whatever it is that you want, or my perspective of certain things on how to maneuver it.
Right. Okay.
That's probably the one thing.
I dig that. I think that's cool. I think that's a good advice for a lot of people, let alone, people that have been in the industry for a long time, but as well as people just coming up, just getting into it.
There's what I think I noticed is there's a million bands trying to get the one spot. And I understand that we're all in competition with each other to a degree. But you also have to be friends.
Right.
You know, and you have to work together, but not really. But don't be a fake supporter of them. And I've learned that over time. The one cool thing that I love about being part of the Solon family is all of the bands that are with Solon, it doesn't matter what genre of music you are. When you roll into a Solon event, everybody loves everybody and everybody's there to help each other.
That's cool.
If you bring drama to the Solon family, you're kicked out of the Solon family.
Nice. That's cool.
So there's like reggae bands and hip hop bands and everyone's just like chill with each other and we're all cool and you go to a Solon event and there's people that are tattooed from head to toe that if they caught you outside they'd probably kill you, but we're all Solon family, so we're all together.
Oh, cool. Yeah, that's cool. That's awesome. I dig that. That's pretty awesome.
It's super cool. So just trying to work with other bands, but not try to fuck them. Just I think that if like back in the day, you had a lot of bands were signed to go on tours together.
Right. Yeah.
You know, so a label might go, okay, I'm gonna grab GNR, Crew, and some other fucking band, right? And there's a ready-made tour. They've already played together. They already get along. Everything's cool. I can take these 3 bands and send them out, and everything's going to be awesome.
Right.
I'm not getting this band over here that doesn't know these guys, throw them out together, and they fucking hate each other, and we lose money. So if you get 3 or 4 bands that go like this with each other, you constantly climb together.
Right.
Without egos involved. So if you're going to play, there's 4 bands and you're going to play 4 or 5 shows, those 4 bands together, nobody's set time is the same. This band isn't always closing. This band isn't always opening. This show, we're drawing straws. And then we're going to rotate that. And so the last band's going to be the first band. And it's going to keep going backwards. And leave your ego at the door because everybody's playing first and everybody's playing last.
Yeah, exactly.
And help each other out.
Right. Yeah.
Because then you have a ready-made tour.
Right.
That somebody label with money can go, there's a ready-made tour. We can throw all those guys together and ship them all out and they all get along and they all help each other.
Right.
And we don't have the drama.
Right, yeah, exactly.
Bands can't do that. They always have to have the headline spot.
Yep.
They're always better than you. And they always want to use your gear. And they want you to do all the marketing.
Right.
And they want you to make all the flyers. And they want you to do all the posts. And they hide behind their computer and click share.
Yeah.
And never once will they be out on the street, old school, handing out flyers or going to the venue a week before their show, telling everybody that they're going to be playing. They don't fucking do that. Right.
Yeah. No, absolutely. No, I think that's good, man. And the other thing too, and I've talked about this with other people and stuff like that too, is the industry is super small. Like I don't think people realize that either. Like especially like, I know you're talking more like band to band and maybe a little bit more localized, but as far as the music industry goes, like it is super small.
As big as it is, it's super small.
Exactly, yeah, absolutely. I've said that numerous times. And it's really crazy when you start talking to all these different people and you're like, oh yeah, I know that guy and I know this guy from here and oh yeah, that guy actually, recorded with that guy or whatever. I did some gigs with him or whatever. And it's just crazy how small the music industry is. So if you burn bridges or fuck something up or do something bad, it gets out. People know what's going on. Unless
you're an A-lister,
right,
you can't have an ego.
Right, exactly.
You have to be able to be like, hey, I'm at the same level that you are. So there could be a band that's 3 years old compared to my band. But they might be pushing the envelope harder than I'm pushing the envelope.
Right.
That doesn't mean that I need to look down on them or, oh, fucking you haven't paid your dues. It's, dude, you guys are hitting something cool. Let's do some shows together.
Yeah.
I'll bring you some fans and I'll take some of your fans and let's work it.
Absolutely.
Bands don't want to do that. They want your fans and their fans without wanting to share.
Right.
And it sucks.
It does suck.
When you're in the Solon family, dude, we play shows with reggae bands. That's pretty odd.
Yeah, that is pretty
It's
odd.
pretty weird for our style of music to go with the reggae.
Right.
It works.
Right.
And we share fans.
Yeah, that's
because
cool.
not everybody's the same style. Like, I'm sure there's more music than just rock that you like.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
You know,
absolutely.
so I think that's going to be the new trend is different style bands that are kind of can jive
Right.
playing on the same venue.
Yep.
As long as you stay away from that screamo shit, you can't mix in that hardcore screamo shit
Right.
with the reggae. Those
Yeah.
fans aren't
Yeah.
gonna jive.
Yeah.
But you can stick other bands together.
Oh,
I mean,
totally.
Alice Cooper and Rob Zombie, those are fucking night and day,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
and they do great together.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. That's cool, man. All right, let's see. I've got a handful of questions here for you. So, like, the first word that like pops into your head whenever you hear this, that's what I want. All right.
Okay.
I might be asking for a lot. What is your favorite word?
Fuck.
Nice. It's always a good one. What's your least favorite word?
Fuck. I use it too much.
I love it. What people can't see is your wife sitting next to us, and she's just shaking her head. Like,
Because she knows
she knows.
She knows it's because I use the word so much because I love it
Right.
that I hate that I love it so much that I use it so much.
Yeah, it's
Because sometimes it slips.
Yeah.
You know, you don't. There's places you can't use it.
Oh, that's really good. What sound or noise do you love?
Anything that's ambient.
Okay.
So I've been doing music for a while, and I have constant ringing.
Okay.
So pure silence I can't have. So
Gotcha. Okay.
the TV's usually always on, or the radio's on in the car because I need to have
Something going on.
some
kind of
sound going on, or otherwise I can't concentrate because all I hear is that ringing.
Gotcha. So that's kind of more of what the next one is. What sound or noise do you hate? So obviously
The ringing.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. Is there a sound or noise that you, when you hear, you're just like, yeah, that's it?
No.
No, not really. Okay, I was just curious. All right.
Because this is a family show, so
Somewhat. What profession other than your own would you like to attempt?
I'm actually working on that other profession. We just can't talk about it, so it's kind of a secret. But
Okay.
that's the one that we talked about earlier. That's
Okay.
the other one that I'm
Working towards.
working towards. Yeah.
Okay, well that's cool. Then I at least know about it.
You know what it
Everybody
is.
else can fuck off.
Fuck off. I'm an asshole. I don't know them, so fuck them.
It's becoming more of an asshole. That's the new project.
Yes, becoming a bigger asshole.
A bigger asshole.
Yes. I do a great job.
Yeah, exactly. You are succeeding. Absolutely.
Totally succeeding.
I love it. So where can anybody find you?
We're on everything.
Right.
Because of being part of Soul and Music, I mean, every type of download, every
Right.
format of a download across the world,
Gotcha.
we're on.
Cool. Okay. And just Zee-no?
Just Zee-no, XNO, just
XNO.
Zee-no.
Okay.
But we're on every form of download.
Very cool. Awesome. All right, man. Well, my last question here. If heaven exists, what would you like to hear God say when you arrive at the pearly gates?
So that doesn't work for me because there is no pearly gates.
I get it.
There is no heaven in my head.
Right.
So chances of him talking to me is highly unlikely. There isn't anything.
Okay.
I'll just leave it at that so I don't take it somewhere
There
where
you
we
go.
don't want to go.
Awesome. All right, Sphynx. Well, thanks, man, for being on the podcast. I appreciate it.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. All right, everybody. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Peace.